by throwing them away.
Yo, these videos be killing me. Like this, like I get the point. Like the message is very important, but what is this background stuff like? Like, is this supposed to be like a sad documentary? Like, this is good information, but is this supposed to be like a sad documentary, or why are they looking to the side all slow and shit? Like, what is this? Like,
if you're offering words of wisdom to someone in this by throwing them away,
what is that? Like, what is that? Like, what is this?
Turn up with your dogs, or you gon' turn up by yourself? You gon' go get on your grind, or you gon' sit and ask for help? They call Brody by himself, he just made a nigga melt. He been fucking up his money, he ain't never needed help. They got the whole gang locked down, they heard we sliding. We in the whip 5%, don't know who's driving.
Alright, YouTube was good, G. It's your boy Kim Moneybag, and yes, I'm back with another video. So today, man, I'm gonna do another great reaction video to an amazing ass topic, which is, hold on, let me zoom this out. Y'all, I got this shit so down packed now. I remember them days a nigga used to cry because I ain't zoom my face out. Come on, man. Oh, you motherfucker. Hold on, let me move this shit back real quick. Let's go. Cool, right? So today's video gonna be cut toxic people and friends out of your life. Jordan Peterson motivation, right? Now, for starters, I just want to say we all experience these times in our life where, you know, we go through a phase where it's nothing but a bunch of toxic emotions going up and down with friends, with family, within ourselves, and just, you know, our overall being of life, trying to find ourselves and just going through the motions of wanting to do better, right? So I'm gonna react to this and we're gonna break down some great talking points. Love y'all niggas.
make friends with people who want the best for you. I had friends who wanted the best for me and friends who didn't. And, you know, they were friends who, some of them were aiming up and some of them were aiming down. And if you have a friend that's aiming down and you do something that's aiming up, then they're generally not that happy about it. You know, they try to top your accomplishment with one of their own, hypothetical or real, or put down what you're doing, or offer you a cigarette if you're trying to quit and you've kind of done that successfully, or a drink if you've been drinking too much and are trying to stop being an alcoholic, you know. Or, yeah, they're cynical and bitter and devoted towards no good. And
nah, facts. What they say?
Sometimes that's family members too.
Facts. And, you know, I'm gonna just say, like, to even break down this first part, right? I genuinely think that, you know, a lot of people sometimes when it comes to relationships, friends, family, whatever you call it, right? Most people are so ego driven that their ego doesn't allow them to ask questions or sit up here and try to get help to, you know, get themselves out of a rut. And most people feel as though if they seek help or if they go to a person for advice to better themselves in whatever way possible, it could be something they're trying to study, it could be something that they're trying to attack in life, or it could be something that they seen another person went through and successfully got through and now they need help on that certain part. But they may feel as though this person is going to think, oh, they need me, or this person is going to think they have some superiority complex, right? And don't get me wrong, a lot of times that could be in a lot of cases. You could ask a person for help and now this person may want credit or keep trying to throw it back in your face or whatever. But for me personally, I would say don't worry about any of that shit. I just could say that when you see certain things and like certain red flags or patterns, that you could just know how to play it off that, right? Because to be honest, when you actually go through life and emotions, a lot of the times you get tired of going through bullshit and you really just be wanting to focus on what matters, right? So for example, the other day I was at work and I was in the cafeteria and, you know, my dad works there and he usually introduced me to certain people or whatever, right? Cool. So he introduced me to this cool guy named Mark. Now, I didn't know the guy Mark from a can of paint, but I guess he knew me from when I was younger. Like, my dad would bring me to the job, like when I was young and shit like that. He would sit me down and he would grab me something to eat and shit like that, right? And so he introduced me. He was like, you know who my son is? He was like, yeah, I'm familiar with who he is. I never seen him around though, but you know, something told me that like my dad had left to start his position at the job or whatever, and something told me just go down and ask this guy a question. Now this guy, he does, you know, like I guess like works with surgery and all that. Cool. Not gonna put too much out there, but something just told me, you know, due to the fact I see that, you know, he's a big shot and he has a big position, that he will have some great insight on what it's like to take risk management and push past the grain. So I went over there and I asked him about YouTube, right? And of course, he gave me some great advice. It's just about putting work towards it every day. It's not about trying to make this big goal, or it's not about trying to, finish everything 2.5 and have this instant gratification. It's about the little steps you take every day, so that way when you finally get to that certain goal or a certain point, everything connects. It's not that you missed the beat, and it's not that you try to cut corners so that everything could connect fully. And I use that example just to say that, instead of me sitting over here thinking that, oh, he may know a little more than me, oh, he may feel as though oh, I need him now, or I'm a dependent. For me, I'm looking at it as like, what do I want and what matters to me? What matters to me is the fact that I really want to focus on taking better risk management and putting myself in certain positions to get a certain outcome. So that's what I'm gonna do. Ask questions.
Sometimes it's even part of you, But like you have an ethical responsibility to take care of yourself, you have an ethical responsibility to surround yourself with people who have the courage and faith and wisdom to wish you well when you've done something good, and to stop you when you're doing something destructive. And if your friends aren't like that, then they're not your friends. And maintaining your friendships with them might not even be in their interest. Be careful about whom you share good news with, and in other words, be careful about whom you share bad news with. A friend is someone you can share good news with, You go to them and you say, hey, look, this good thing happened to me, and they say, look, I'm so happy that happened to you. Like, way to be. And they don't think, God damn it, why didn't that happen to me? And you didn't deserve it. Here's a bunch of reasons you're stupid and why it won't work. It's like, that's not helpful.
Damn, that's another great point. And that's crazy because this ties into what I spoke on 2 videos ago, right? When it was about why you shouldn't tell people your goals and whatever. And that's another big component of everything. So in my last video, I was trying to say that you could tell people good information, you could tell people bad information, whatever you want to do, you got to face the consequences at the end of the day, right? But telling the person good information or what you want to do, my last video, and even if I tie into this, right, I always tell people, and even myself, don't be insecure about what you want to do. Meaning that if a person asks you about your goals, if you have a genuine desire to share your goals, or you want to tell a person, okay, cool, whatever you want to do, right? Don't feel insecure or feel as though I would only tell this person my goals if I felt like it fit a social norm, right? So like, I always use the example of me wanting to do YouTube. A lot of times, certain people, since it's out of the realm of doctors or nurse or something that, society accepts more, or something that society or parents that want kids to go to school and shit like that push. Like for me, sometimes my career or what I want to do may go against the grain, so it may cause a little pushback, but that's not for me to worry about. So I can tell 10 people I want to do YouTube, and they can make all 10 nasty faces. They can say, you shouldn't do this. Oh, go make your parents happy. Oh, you think your parents would accept YouTube? Fuck that. I don't care about any of that. At the end of the day, it's my life. I'm going to choose to go against the grain and accept everything that come with this, right? So I'm just saying that if you're more on the private side, or you feel as though like, man, I don't want to tell people my goals or whatever, because like after I tell them that, that's it, the conversation ends. Or what do you want to do? YouTube. Oh, alright, cool. Why do you want to do that? Because I feel as though it'd be best for me to broadcast my personality on a bigger spectrum for everybody to see, how my personality and the knowledge I know can impact others. Okay, great. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of the time, that's how most conversations go, because people be wanting to know just to know. So being private in that aspect, cool. But I always say, don't be insecure about it, though. You get what I'm saying? So, and it's true, a lot of people really don't want to see you do good, though. But a lot of people, the fact that you have the balls and the confidence to push past everything, you may not even be at the point you want. You may even feel some type of way, but the fact that you even taking the initiative makes a lot of people feel bad about certain things, but that's still not for you to worry about, though.
Carl Rogers, who's a psychotherapist, he had this idea that what he would manifest towards his clients in therapy was unconditional positive regard. And I've always had trouble with that because you don't treat your children, for example, with unconditional positive regard.
You mean, so no matter what someone says, you're saying, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's why it's tricky. Well, what he didn't articulate it, I think, as well as he might have. What you want to do is, for your child, is that you want the best, for the best in them. That's what you want. And that's what you want from people that you surround yourself with. Now, they'll hold you to a high standard if that's the case, right? Because whenever you degenerate in any of the multiple ways that you're likely to degenerate, they're going to like whack you on the back of the head and say, you know, clue the hell in. You know, you're demeaning yourself. You're less than you could be. And there's real judgment in that, and it's harsh. You know, but with friends, it's the same thing. You want friends. They're not friends if they're not these people. You want friends who, when something good happens to you, that's good for you, right? They're happy about that. They're not like all bitter and resentful underground and like saying horrible things behind your back and telling you how they did something that was better and trying to drag you down. It's like, that's not helpful. And then when something bad happens to you and you go to them and you say, look, this terrible thing happened to me. First of all, they don't try to top it with some like horrible thing that happened to them because they don't have the patience to listen. And second, they're not secretly gloating about the fact that catastrophe finally befell you.
Ooh, it's like that. My fault, y'all. It's like that. Actually hurt by it. Damn, that was a good point. And like, I like the fact that this video has so much good topics in it. And I look at it as like, I don't even be wanting people around me that are yes men. Like, you know, I don't want people around me that just because I tell them something good that they gotta fake the funk, act like, okay, great or whatever. Nah, but it's genuinely important to have people around you that genuinely want to see you do better. Don't even matter if you're topping them by 1,000. It don't even matter that if you sit up here and they see you just elevating, like they look up and it's like, damn, this nigga Kennedy is going. And they understand and accept the fact that, man, I got a homie, man, and this nigga going up, he doing this thing. I'm still at square one because of my insecurities or whatever I got going on, but fuck it. That's at the end of the day, I'm proud of this nigga. I'm proud of him for what he got going on. I'm proud of him putting himself out there, and I'm proud to see him doing good. And of course, it could be a catastrophe in your life. It don't even got to be with a certain goal. It could just be something, you know, outside of your goal or whatever, or like an obstacle you may be facing in life, and you may come to them like, look, man, you know, my motion kind of slowed down a little bit because of this, but I'm going to dive deep. I'm going to understand the situation, and I'm going to go back in it. And they actually take time to understand, and they want that genuine, like, love and desire for you to do better. So for them, it's like, damn, you know, this nigga got some good motion going on. I would hate to see him fall down. So they put their little input of it. Even if they're not where they want to be in their life, the fact that they're so inspired and motivated by you, it's like, my nigga, I'm not where I want to be, but I see that you're going somewhere. I want you to keep the motion up, and I want you to keep progressing and putting yourself out there. That's very important, and it's always good to have that self-motivation though. So it's always good to take that time to yourself to where it's like, even when you don't have your friends and everybody saying that stuff to you, you could still be your own motivator. And not even motivation, more on the consistency realm, because I can say that motivation is cool. Like for me, I love being motivated. You know, you got some days where you could just jump up and everything going good. You speeding, but them days to where it's like shit seem cloudy, or the traction kind of slow down in your life where everything was going like at a smooth pace, and I would get kind of rocky because the life is trying to test you and see that, do you really want what you said you wanted, and can you handle the obstacles that come with it? So that way when you get around it, when future obstacles come, it's like this is second nature. So it's always good to have that burning desire factor in yourself to understand that, okay, when this happened, I could take on this. But having people around you as well is also amazing. To have somebody to share stories with, like, I did this, man, cool, Brody, I'm happy for you. They tell you their stories, or they ask you like, man, I'm inspired by what you're doing. Can you help me out with this? Then you put them on, they all come together. So it's always good to have that extra help though. So that's why I like this video.
It's like they're actually hurt by it. And that chapter is an injunction. It's like, take a look at the people that are around you. And if they're not on the side of what's good for you, then walk away. Because, well, first of all, that's best for them too. If you put up with that, all you're doing is enabling it. It's like, well, it's okay that you mistreat me in a way that's harmful to me and everyone else. It's like, actually, no, that is not okay. It's not the least bit okay. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try to help someone when they're down. That's a whole different issue.
What if it's your family? So you know how you say like walk away, right? Do you still walk away from your family?
You do if it's necessary.
Yeah.
There's
Hell yeah.
lots of different ways of walking away. Sometimes someone's on an incorrigible path. Like, there's just nothing you can do.
And who? Hold up. Oh, nah. You using big words and shit. And was incorrigible? Incorrigible. Let me see what the fuck this shit mean. of a person or their tendencies not able to be correct. Oh, okay. Improved or reformed. He's an incorrigible liar and incorrigible person. All repeat offenders, but none of them. Okay. He's okay. So it's like basically like who they are. They're just on the path to where it's like the. I'm not gonna say the point of no return, but it's like you can help them. Like the shit you're doing and trying to put them on to help them what doesn't work. Okay.
Sometimes someone's on an incorrigible path. Like there's just nothing you can do. You know, maybe they're aiming down and they're bitter and everything they do is to produce misery, virtually everything. And you have to detach yourself from that. It's like I always think about it from the perspective of a lifeguard. So if you're training to be a lifeguard, one of the things that you're trained to do is to approach someone who's drowning and panicking. And the way you approach them is you put your foot out between you and them and you push forward with your hands with your foot out. And you basically tell them if they're flailing about, you say, look, I'm here to help, but you have to calm down. And then if they cling to you, like in panic, you push them away. You think, well, that's pretty damn cruel, because what if they drown? It's like, yeah, what if you both drown? That's like not helpful. You're there to rescue them, they take you down, you're both dead. It's like, fail.
Oh, woo. That was a... Hold on, let me make sure we still rolling, man. Alright, cool, 15 minutes, I'm loving it. That's an amazing point, though. So it's like, you know, we all have them friends to where it's like you try to put this person on some knowledge or wisdom or whatever, and they don't want to take it, right? But then it's like they may get mad at you or keep trying to reach out for help in certain cases, but you understand that the path you're going on requires hella motion. Like, it requires you to be at 1,000 and keep going. And this person just want to be behind and hope and just in hopes that you'll help them. So it's like you want to help them in the sense of you having a sincere heart. But at the end of the day, since they don't want to take the information, it's a dog-eat-dog world. So I totally agree with that.
Right? It's like, well, it's the same with someone in your family. It's like, if they're on a downward path and you've done your best, you know, you've made your efforts, and they're not paying attention, they're not changing. They say, yeah, well, I'll quit doing this. Yeah, I'll quit doing this. They tell you the same story over and over and over. It's a downhill path. You don't trust it. At some point, first of all, you stop offering your words. If you're offering words of wisdom to someone in the genuine attempt to help and they treat that with contempt, then shut up, because you're demeaning your words by throwing them away.
Yo, these videos be killing me. Like this, like I get the point, like the message is very important, but what is this background stuff like? Like, is this supposed to be like a sad documentary? Like, this is good information, but is this supposed to be like a sad documentary? Or why are they looking to the side all slow and shit? Like, what is this? Like,
if you're offering words of wisdom to someone in the genuine attempt to help and they treat that with contempt, then shut up, because you're demeaning your words by throwing them away.
What is that? Like, what is that? Like, what is this?
You think, well, how do you help someone who's aiming down? Well, sometimes you help them by walking away and saying, look, you're aiming down so hard, despite the fact you're my brother, man. It's like, you know, this is killing me. You're aiming down so hard, I'm not coming along with you. And the reason I'm not is to tell you in no uncertain terms that what you're doing is so terrible that I will even violate our kinship to oppose it. And maybe it'll take them 10 years to wake up to that, you know? And so that can be the case because, you know, people often have to be hit so many times before they'll learn. You see that especially if someone's addicted or otherwise pursuing a pathway that's like seriously downhill. So why should I think that you're actually trying to change? You tell me the story that you use to justify your own idiocy to yourself. And then you tell it to me and you demand that because I'm compassionate, I accept it. And therefore...
Who's these people? What is this? Like she pretty. I give it to her. Like, if I saw her on the street, I would definitely bang out. Like, she's very pretty. But I'm just like, what is this though? Like, shorty been like just smiling for the past 30 seconds. Like, what? This shit over there trying to seduce a nigga and shit. Like, yo, these videos are hilarious. Like, whoever put this background on this shit, like, what is this?
For validate your excuse. It's really hard not to get tangled up in that, right? Because if someone who's really in rough shape is telling you about why they're suffering, first of all, they're probably about half right in their story. but some of it's justification and excuse and blaming and all of that, failure to take responsibility. It's really hard to stand up and say, no, I don't buy that. No, you're wrong about that. You have to be a brutal bastard in order to do that. But hey, sometimes, like, surgery is brutal, right? It's brutal. And so this chapter about, you know, only making friends with people who want the best for you, that's a brutal chapter, you know, but it's right, unfortunately. Here's how you know if someone's your friend. You can tell them bad news, and they'll listen. They won't tell you why, you know, you're stupid and why that bad thing happened to you, and how something worse happened to them once, and, you know, derail the whole conversation.
Okay, right? So right here, I just wanted to tweak this a little bit, and this point is right? But I would say that if you go to a friend, right, like a genuine friend, and you tell them some bullshit, or let's say something you did, right? I wouldn't say necessarily for them to say, like, you're stupid or dumbass or this and that, but I would say for them to give you the best tough love possible. I will say that, right? So I could say that if they use a bad story about them to kind of, or put it into context, right? So say for example, you go to your homie, you be like, you know, man, you know, like, I got laid off, I got laid off my job, and things been hard for me. I'm thinking about hitting the streets or whatever. Or let's say, man, I've been in the streets lately, I got laid off my job, and a lot of shit hasn't been hitting for me, right? And let's say your homie has experience with that, but they made it out. It was like, nah, man, come on, that shit dumb, man. At the end of the day, you got it in you, bro. You got it in you to do better. I was in the streets and all this bullshit happened to me. Cops always running down. My homies turning their back on me. Me chasing a life of something that, you know, wanting to be loved and wanting to be cared for. Not feeling like I had the courage to put in a job resume. Not feeling like that jobs would accept me. Feeling like I'm a piece of shit and that I wouldn't be a good worker when it came to the corporate field. All that type of stuff, right? So if they come back with a story to give you better context as to why the shit you did was dumb or stupid, then that's understandable. But in the sense of just trying to make you feel bad, like come on, man, you fucking dumbass, da-da-da, and then, you know, they try to rail up conversations that make you feel more like shit. Yeah, you fucking dummy, you ain't never gonna really amount to shit, man. That's why you gonna be in the same shit you are now, because you a fucking dumbass, you stupid, no goals, no visions. I'm not saying do all that, but don't baby the person either. You could tell the person, like, look, my G, I love you with all my heart, my guy, but let me tell you my story about the streets. This shit come with this, and that, man. Cops always running down on me, constantly getting locked up, chasing a life that was just total destruction. Wanting to get a quick pair of sneakers, trying to get some money in my pocket, feeling like I had to prove myself instead of taking shit the right way and not having to look over my shoulder all the time. Not having to walk outside feeling paranoid. Actually taking on a life to where my shit could be at ease, and even if I do go through something, I know it's my own personal battles and it's not from an outside person, or I don't got people coming after me. Now, using that context to get you to understand and break shit down better, is nothing wrong with that. But to just be like an asshole, no.
You can actually tell them bad news and they'll listen. So that's a good thing. And then, this is a weirder thing, you can tell them good news and they'll help you celebrate. And that's a really good way of deciding who you should have around you, because if you have someone around you, you know, something good happens to you, and you're kind of afraid to even admit it because, you know, God, something good happened to you. You let that be known and it'll certainly be taken away. So, you know, you come out and you sort of tell someone half-heartedly that something good happened to you, and they give you a whack, and then talk about, you know, the great thing that happened to them 3 years ago, or worse, the great thing that happened to someone that they knew 3 years ago.
Facts. And see, that really keeps tying into my point. Don't worry about that shit though. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, it's either, if you want to tell somebody some good information, you can. If you want to keep it private, cool. If you want to tell them half of it, cool. But all I'm saying is, don't hide shit because you're afraid of their opinion. Don't be afraid to let what you say or something you want to do go against the grain. If you say something or let something be broad and they don't fuck with it, that's it. You don't gotta kind of, I can say, hide the story or try to tell the least important part of the story because you feel like if I tell them the good part of the story, I'm not going to accomplish it. Now, like I said in my other video, right? Sometimes that telling somebody about something does put an expectation sometimes, right? So like I said, that if you're working towards something and you're constantly, you know, working on it, and then you tell somebody about it, like, I got this going on, I got this, I'm looking forward to this, or I'm looking forward to that. Sometimes life can happen and things may slow down and it may take a little longer to get there. So sometimes the way you may have presented a certain subject or whatever you want to do, right, it may put an expectation as to when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and who's going to be with you when it's going to happen, what you got set up, and sometimes things change. So that's all I'm going to say, that sometimes it's a better expectation, but don't try to tweak shit because of that.
You know, it's like, go away from that person. They're not helpful to you. You are obligated not to associate with people who are trying to damage the structure of being. Your being, the family being, social being, all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. Move away. And you think, well, you know, that's cruel. It's like, it's not cruel. You're sending a message. This sort of behavior is not to be tolerated. Plus, if you make a success out of yourself, let's say that you develop your character, well, then you're a example. And at some point, maybe that's what that person is going to need, is an example. You know, maybe they'll hit bottom and think, oh my God, I'm not on the right path. It's like, there's an example I could follow. So, and you can't justify it by compassion. And the other thing, you know, people don't exactly understand that it's okay morally to choose people that are trying to help you be better, and to shy away from people who are going to drag you down. So you're not morally obliged to go down with someone else's ship. Now you think that's pretty harsh and pretty rude. You can't abandon a friend in need. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it is appropriate for you to look at your social surround and to make decisions. If you have a person who's hurting you and who won't quit and who's pulling you down, it's like, that is not necessary.
True.
You're not obligated to do that. You go with people that are trying to elevate you. You got to surround yourself with people who want the best for the best part of you. You can hang around with weasels and losers that are trying to pull you down to justify the fact that they're spiraling downhill as well. And you know the upside of that.
That nigga said weasels.
Is you don't have to have any responsibility. You can all whine about how wretched life is, you know. So that's pretty attractive. But I would say it's also a bad medium to long-term plan. And so it's acceptable and desirable to try to surround yourself with people who are facilitating your development.
That's it, man. That was a banging ass video. Much respect to Jordan Peterson for them amazing ass topics, bro. But y'all, I just really want to wrap it up to say, of course, man, hold up. Let me show my face. Oh, what the fuck? Alright, cool, right? I just want to say, of course, surround yourself with people that want to see you win, that want to see you do better. All I'm going to say is don't try to alter or tweak shit because you feel it's like they going to care or not care. Excuse me. Like they going to care or not care. You know, if you want to tell them some information or a story, you can. If you don't, you don't. But I just wanted to break down that video in better context from my perspective, from my life experiences. And, you know, let me know what y'all think. And if y'all want more of these videos like this, or just give me another video topic or whatever, or send me something. You know, my Instagram is ken.moneybag. I'm going to put it down below. And let your homie know. Love y'all next.